All right. We're back at Hannah and Colton's house. You guys remember Gypsy, the 79 Bronco that I got pulled over in and gives me absolute hell every time I have it. Well, that's Gypsy. And here's Tammy. This is the one we're taking up to the cabin. And seeing this truck and seeing, how this one sits now. Like, look at the difference. Look at that. Look how close the wheel is there to the fender. And look how far away the fucking tire is to the fender on this. So, I guess that right there just shows you just how, the difference between new springs and old springs. I've got a feeling that we'll be doing springs on Tammy here soon. So, I'm going to send some pictures of this to Hannah and see what she wants to do. So, because if we could replace the front springs on this truck, that would be astonishing. So, yeah. Alright, just got off the phone with the bosses. And so, it sounds like Miss Tammy will be coming home with us instead of heading to the cabin. So, which is fine. Because as you've seen up at the house, as you've seen when we were up at their house, the front leaf springs are shot. Like, very shot. So, what we're gonna do is this. Hannah's gonna order new leaf springs for the front, because it already has new shocks on it. So, we're doing new leaf springs up front. We're going to be doing... it has a really bad parasitic draw, and I think that's due to the taillights. So I'm going to fix that, but I'm also going to test the alternator to see if it's working as it should. It seems to be working, just not enough to keep the battery alive. But also, I just don't know. This thing's got a really bad parasitic draw, so I'm going to check it out and see what all needs to be done. But she is coming home with us. So, and then today we are also going to go up and get Kenny, the 70 two-wheel drive that sounds like I might be getting for myself, but we'll see. I'm gonna get this back, then I'll let you know when I'm back up at their cabin to get Kenny. So that's the plan there. So yeah, hello everyone, we're back working on Miss Tammy, and as you're probably wondering, why is it in here backwards? As usually I park everything like this, like that, but today we are doing it like this because since we are dropping the front axle out of this truck, I want to be able to do it. I still have my garage here next to me. So, and because there's a slight chance we might be doing this in the rain, I want at least some sort of coverage from the rain. So, because I got my canopy there, and I'm just going to move all this stuff over here. So, yeah. So, that's why. And what we're doing today is hopefully getting wheels off and then starting to tear apart the suspension. Because we will be dropping the springs out of this to be putting in new springs. New springs haven't showed up yet, but that's the plan, is to get the new springs here and get everything in. So that's the main thing we're doing on this truck. And then we're also fixing the brake pedal, because sometimes it keeps the brake light on because it's not on. Is that on? No, I just think that's how it looks in the light. But so yeah, maybe it is on, I'm not sure. No, we're not on. But so the plan is to get the front springs out from underneath the truck and get this thing up in the air. So get wheels and tires off, throw them in the back, or leave them somewhere where they're out of the way, and yeah, start tearing this thing down. So that's the plan with that. So yeah, all right, good news. Axle is out of the truck. It's just floating there, which is good, because I don't want to do anything else but float there. We got to pull the shackles off, and then the springs will be able to come out. So I'm going to work on that right now, so that way we can have this thing stripped and ready to rock. And then, yeah, because the new springs will be here Friday. So this, I'm going to tell Hannah, I'll be like, hey, by the way, this truck's going to be done next week, so we're going to need something else to work on, because the plan was to do this one too, but now I own this one, so that's that. So maybe we can kind of do the whole Indiana Jones switcheroo with this and Bumpy. So maybe that's something we can do. We'll see. But for right now, springs need to come out. So I think I might make that. A Thursday issue or tomorrow issue. I'm not sure yet. But as far as I know, I just need it to happen sooner than later. Or maybe it'll be a Friday issue. I don't know. I don't want it to be a Friday issue, but we'll see, because I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, because since we started a mobile mechanic business, I've got a couple of cars in that are getting some oil changes done. So yay. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what I end up doing. So yeah. All right, everyone. Little update on Tammy. As you've seen, we got the axle out of it. I just barely, so that was yesterday when I got the axle out of it. Today is Wednesday, and today's been a busy day doing not just Tammy stuff, but working on a couple other cars too. So where was I going with this? So now I didn't get to show it because my phone was dead, so I had to charge it. But what we're doing now, well, what I didn't show you was I got the springs off of the truck. Well, kind of. I got the driver's side spring off. The passenger side spring I didn't get off because the bolt on the front perch, it wasn't seized or anything. It's just on that truck, if you remember back when we first got the truck in to get work done on it, it had a winch bumper on the front that was PTO driven. Well, the little notch they made in the frame for the PTO drive shaft to run through, the plate that they made to fill in that hole in the frame goes past the frame rail, so it's wider than the frame rail is, and so you pull the bolt out, and I'll show you all this once I get back to the truck, but that frame, that when you pull that bolt out, it hits that, extra piece, so it needs to be cut out. So I need to ask Mr. Brian Nielsen, because to use his grinder with the cutoff wheel, because my grinder and cutoff wheel is currently sitting in the crew cab that is up getting carpet. So it's a great idea. But or I may just go down and grab my my cutoff saw, my hacksaw, which is down at the storage unit. I don't know, haven't decided on that yet. I think probably the storage unit, because I'll be down there tomorrow anyways, for reasons that you will see later. So yeah, or reasons that you might have already seen. Yeah, let's go with that. Might have already seen. But so yeah, so I'm off to go to Brian's house now to go sandblast the U-bolts the top plate that goes on the top of the springs, and then the little piece that mounts on the underside of the axle. So sandblast all that, and then I'll bring it home, paint them. Painting them will probably be a tomorrow ordeal, depending on how the weather wants to work with me today. So it might be a tomorrow deal, it might be a today deal, don't know yet. But yeah, the plan is now to go and get them blasted and get them looking pretty. So, because I want them to look pretty on this truck, because this is Colton's baby. So it's what I would want for my truck, and you know, that's all that matters, because I would want nothing but the best for my truck. So I'll do the same thing for their stuff. So yeah, so I'll let you guys know when I have an update for you. And yeah, oh, one more thing, it's kind of funny. So if you guys remember, the power steering on Tammy leaked like a sieve the first time we had it. Well, it's been leaking like that for a very long time, which has led to the driver's side of the truck, like the driver's side suspension, just being covered in grime from the power steering leak. Well, so it's, the funny part is the springs and everything on the driver's side was so easy to pull off, because the fact that these trucks use transmission fluid for, you know, for power steering fluid, type F to be exact. So the fact that it was lubricated by a petroleum product, and the fact that transmission fluid is a detergent, made it so everything just came off flawlessly. It was really funny, actually, because the difference between the driver's side and passenger side was night and day. So passenger side wasn't hard, but it was not as easy as the driver's side, if that makes sense. If I'm comparing to how Emmy was, the blue 667 F250 that we did, that if you've seen those videos, that one was atrociously bad to tear apart. So this one is actually really, really nice comparatively to that. It's taken about the same amount of time. It's just that with Emmy, we had to pretty much cut everything, because nothing would come loose. Where this truck, everything came loose. So the time that we took actually taking stuff off the correct way on this one is the same amount of time as what it took us to cut everything on Emmy. So the hours kind of balance out. So yeah, but it's just, I'm much more happier working on this one than on Emmy. So yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated. All right, everyone, we are back. I wanted to show you what I was talking about yesterday when it comes to this stupid freaking bolt. So all right, so you see how they cut this out and welded in a plate so that the PTO could come through here? Yeah, well, the plate, you know, because this is, you know, like an L shape, and the plate is not. Well, the bolt hits that plate before it can even come out. So what I need to do is I need to cut here and then down here so I can slip the bolt out and put the new one in once we get the new springs in here. So that will happen eventually. Well, not eventually, it'll happen right now. So I just wanted to show you what that looked like before I pull this apart. So yeah. All right, spring is off. So I cut a little notch in that piece, so that's good. These got blasted yesterday at Brian's, but these did not, because this was the side that was completely covered in grease and everything. So I just got done power washing them, and I need to let them dry so that way we can start painting these back to black. So they'll look good. But yeah. So I'm gonna get these painted. Well, in the meantime, I'm also doing some stuff for Brian, so for his F100. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth to that. So yeah, once these dry, I'll take them over there, get them painted, and then that way once the springs show up, hopefully today, haven't seen anything come yet, but hopefully today they'll be here. So that way at the beginning of, because today's Friday, so that way at the beginning of next week on Monday, we can throw it all back together and get this truck back to being good to go. So yeah, I'll let you know when I have an update of paint. All right, everyone, we are back. So we actually got the new springs in yesterday, so that's good. So we can start bolting those up. And while we are doing that, these are painted and drying as we speak. U-bolts and everything are painted. We just gotta wait for them to dry because I need to flip them over again, paint the other sides. But we can get the springs on while we are waiting for that. So that's my plan right now, is to get the springs on and pretty much get this truck back to being a truck. So I want to drive it around for a bit and see how it rides with the new springs and everything, and see how it looks. So that's the plan there. All right, second coat is on the spring hardware, the U-bolts and stuff, and springs are on. They are bolted in, ready to rock and roll. So now I just need to raise the axle up to the spring, bolt the shocks on, and then pretty much just wait till that's done, and then we'll be able to throw those on. That shouldn't take too long. It is pretty hot outside, and the fact that it's black shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, we'll just raise this thing up and see how she rides. So should be pretty sweet when it's done. All right, as you can see, she is all put back together. Wheels are torqued down, U-bolts are torqued down, and I just did a tune on the car because it was running pretty rich whenever you start it. But she's ready to rip. She sits so level now, it's ridiculous. Like, that is just astonishingly nice how level that sits. So I'm gonna go drive it around, see how it does, see how it performs. But this truck is such a good sounding truck. Like, that is just the perfect amount of tone. So I love it. Yeah, I'll go on that test drive and I'll let you guys know how it goes. And then we'll see when it comes to, because what's next on this is I'm gonna ask Colton if he wants me to replace the thermostat gasket on this, and then if he wants, and then obviously I gotta fix the brake pedal, make sure that doesn't give them any more issues, and then pretty much just go from there. So yeah, I'll let you guys know. Hello everyone, we're back. As you can see, we have about a foot of snow here, and the thing is that's not going to stop us from working on Miss Tammy here, because unfortunately I can't afford to not work on this truck in the snow. So we are going to get what we can off the hood and probably start this thing and let everything melt off. And because today the plan is to do a spring on the brake pedal, so that way it keeps the brake pedal up and keeps the battery from dying, and probably a thermostat too. Well, not thermostat, but thermostat gasket, because it is leaking a little bit. So that's the plan there. And yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted once I have an update. All right, so we're back working on Tammy. It is currently thawing because of all the snow that we got, as you've seen. So thermostat gasket's done. Wiring is, I guess, fixed. I mean, the thing is tail light's not on, so I assume that's fixed. But thing is this thing has to go home tomorrow. This has to be loaded up today, go home tomorrow, because it's got a photo shoot that I'm taking it down to tomorrow, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if I can say much about it yet, but it's a pretty cool shoot, and I'm pretty excited for it. So, because this truck definitely deserves it. This thing, what I need to do is I need to pull it out, flip it around, pull it back in, so it can really unthaw, especially this side, or I might just wait for it to, unthaw. But I do need to get the bed cleaned out. Actually, yeah, I'll flip it around so that way it'll unthaw. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm gonna flip this around and then we'll let everything unthaw. All right, so we are down here with Tammy. She's loaded up, ready to rock. Battery dead. So I think the truck, because we are not pulling voltage from anywhere, so I honestly think that the alternator just doesn't like to alternate. So I think that's where we're getting at with that, because it shows voltage, but I don't think it's giving it the right amperage that it needs. So there's that. But anyways, I'm gonna get this thing started, pull it off a trailer, get it ready to rock, and then clean it up, spray some tire shine on it, get ready to go. So I'm gonna get to doing that, and but this is where I'm gonna end it off with Tammy. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you guys like this new video of Tammy. It's definitely good to have this truck back out, so it's definitely one of my favorites. So I'm sure Emmy would also be in the same category, but didn't really get any drive time behind that truck. So, where this truck just runs and drives so well. So I'm gonna get to unload this, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Hello everybody. You thought we were done. Well, that's not the case, because we are back working on Miss Tammy after dropping it off. So it turns out it didn't go to the photo shoot, which is unfortunate, but we are back today because we were replacing the voltage regulator and the alternator. So, because it needs to be done. So I think that's where our big power draw is coming from. So, got to figure that one out, and should be easy. Just need to undo a couple bolts and it'll come right off. So, shouldn't be too bad. Voltage regulator, same situation. So, just got to unbolt the two bolts, undo the clip, and then on goes the new one. So it'll make this engine bay look a lot better. That's for damn sure. Brand new water pump, brand new power steering pump. We'll have a brand new alternator with everything else that's brand new. So should be pretty sick, not gonna lie. So I'll give you guys an update when I have one. So check this out. So it's running, okay. Temperature. It's really hot. So shut the truck off. Watch this. And get this shit. Same battery. Same battery. So, yeah. I also just fixed the coolant issue that we thought was the gasket. But it turns out the hose was just super loose. So fix that coolant issue. And yeah, she's timed now and ready to rip. So yeah. All right. So alternator and voltage regulator are on. On and on. And guess what? Yeah, we found out that's not the problem on this truck, so that's fun. What the actual problem was, because what would happen is when the truck was cold, turn over, fire up, no problem. Well, when when it's hot, you turn it off, go to fire up, and it just and so we're like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's not, no, that's not that ain't this engine ain't fucking worn the fuck out, even though it is, but that's not the issue. So What it did is I started sitting here and thinking about it, and I'm like, it's got to be timing. There's no way it's not. Like, it's just got to be. So I undid the distributor, twisted it like a little bit to the driver's side, jumped back in the truck, started right up. So, and I'll put the clip that I sent to Hannah in this, after this video of me doing that. But yeah, so it's fun. So I'll let you watch that, and then we'll get back to this. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? So good news is this truck is good to go, finally. I think that is our big issue, is that timing issue. But good thing is now we should be good to go. So now, this truck just needs to be driven now. So she's a ripper. She is an absolute ripper. If anything, I'd want to change out this fan for a clutch fan, because that would be smart for this one. This thing does get hot pretty quick, but it also might need some top off on some coolant. So I did fix the coolant leak that was here too, because we did the thermostat gasket, but it turns out it wasn't even that. The leak was the hose, because the clamp wasn't tight enough. So that's fixed now as well. So yeah, now they just got to drive this truck. So should be ready to rock and roll now. So I'm excited for it, as you guys should be as well. So yeah. So I'll end you guys off on this one, as we were supposed to before. But now I'm actually going to end this off. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like this video of Tammy coming back. So she's such a pretty girl, and not to mention Gypsy. We just worked on Gypsy on Friday after we dropped this off to Hannah. Did brakes on this. It runs so much better now. We also just, God, I love this truck so much. I do. I love it. I'm just happy they fixed the bumper and everything, because this thing is just, wish I had more drive time in it, because she's a baddie. So I love this truck. They just did a cool little video with this truck and Tammy, so I'll throw that in after this one. It's just kind of cool to see those two trucks together. So yippers. So we'll cut you on that. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will definitely see you on the next one.